Jim Feaster. Never have I seen a person that would help everybody else. We had guys that helped me. I was weak, and everybody was weak. In the actual crash, I broke 6 vertebrae in my back, so did Jim. Lewis hurt his back real bad, so did Jim. And I also slammed against the front of the helicopter when we hit at 75 knots into a 6-foot dike. And I broke the right orbit of my eye. And I didn't know that for 35 years. Every year, the POWs go to a physical, and I used to go to Pensacola all the time. And after 35 years, the doctors started really looking at my right eye. And they called in like 15 more doctors. And I said, what is wrong? What are you looking at? They said, we're looking at your right eye. You broke the orbit around your eye badly. But obviously it's healed itself. They didn't do anything to me. Jim, when that 10-foot bungee cord bounced off the back of my seat when we hit and broke his left side. But he knew about it a little quicker than me, and they fixed it, sort of. But just to mention one guy, Jim, he was always there to help, even with all his ailments during that 3 years in the jungle. He went on Comey runs. The Comey run was a walk 3 to 5 miles away from the camp with an empty basket, and then on your 90 or 100-pound body, which we all weighed within 6 months, put 70 to 75 pounds of Comey in it and carry it back to the camp. I tried my best. I went on 2 Comey runs, and both times I returned with the basket virtually empty. I was no help at all to these guys. They were so great. And it was 4 or 5 AmeriCal guys, and they were so great, the work they could do to keep the rest of us alive, and they did. But Jim himself, just to tell you, he had an attitude in that camp, besides the humor, which I'll tell you about later. He was the hardest working person that he could be under that situation. He never got mad at me. He should have, because I got on the bed, and after about 3 months, I was a real help to these guys. I said, everybody's gonna die. I wanna die. And I meant it. It was too hard. It was too hard to live. But Jim, after a couple of the guys from the AmeriCal came down to me and said, Frank, well, they didn't say Frank, this is kind of funny. They said, Bones, here's 15 to 20, 80 or 90 or 100-pound guys, and I'm one of them, but they decided to call me Bones, so I must have really looked bad. But they came down and told me what's going to happen to me if I didn't get up off that bed, move around, try to eat. That was another of my problems. I hated rice when I was captured. I didn't virtually eat anything for 2 months. And by then I started to eat the dirty, filthy red rice we got, but it was too late. But then after those AmeriCal guys came down, here comes Jim in his typical self, and he's smiling at me. And he said, Bones, you're gonna die, but you're not gonna die on my goddamn watch. That's what he said. He said, you got me here, I appreciate it, but you're not gonna die. And it was Jim that made me try. I got up and I shuffled myself once every morning down to the latrine, which was 2 holes dug in the ground. Usually I'd stay there for 8 or 10 hours, and somebody would come get me, quite often Jim, and help me carry me back up the hill, put an arm around me, because I was a mess. We were all a mess. We were in bad, bad shape by the time we got to North Vietnam in '71. But I could go on and on about Jim, but I think you got the idea. He was just amazing, and he's been amazing since. Every time he calls me up, several times a year, first thing he does is tell me, thank you. I'm glad you were my pilot that night. You got me down. And then he tells me about all his ailments, his back, his neck, his head. I said, Jim, I did that too. I did it to all of us. But he means it in all his heart. And I think it's my honor to tell you that he gets this award. Jim, come on up.
the first thing I want to say, I know all of you that think I'm just full of crap most of the time, or all the time. But one thing that I think that I failed to say to everyone, that I am so thankful, and I want to thank everyone that jeopardized their life in trying to come out and find us that night we got shot down. I don't think I've told anyone that. Even though I mean it when I appreciate that. I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for trying to come out and rescue us. I really do. Secondly, my fellow veterans, my brothers, sisters, guests that's never been here before, like the rest of the POWs, you will never be forgotten in my mind. Never. And I think that's all I'm getting ready to.
You okay, brother?
I really do appreciate you. I really do. And you will never, never, never be forgotten. You're my second family, and I appreciate it. Thank you. If Bones ever decides to crash a helicopter, please call me.